There we go. Oh, sorry, wrong one. There we go. Hold on. Hello. Welcome back to Cymbalistic Cynicism on the Indie Escape Network. Today we're here with the cast of Red Knight Special Red Rising 2. Red Special 2 Red Rising. I keep doing that. I know we're a little short on guests, but let's start. Everybody start introducing themselves. I'll start with you, Mark, since you came in first.
I'm Mark Vincent. I played OZ.
V?
Oh, V?
No.
Hi,
V.
I'm V, and I play Sierra.
Grace?
Hi, I'm Grace Julianna, and I play El Tapon.
And Chrystal?
Hello there, Chrystal McCoy. I play Tiffany.
Now, I was at the premiere back in, I think it was April, and it was a crazy turnout. Like we had trouble getting everybody into the theater before the showing because we were taking so many pictures. I remember that.
Yes.
So tell us did you guys do this, like film this movie? Was it during COVID? Was it after? Because it seemed like you guys were pretty good to go with any precautions that tend to happen on productions in recent years. Like, did you have any restrictions on COVID? Like, because it seems like you guys. So you guys, when did you film this?
I think it was pre-COVID, no?
It was pre-COVID?
Or was it missed? I remember I flew in from Atlanta to shoot early because I had moved out of New York. So I'm not sure the time period, but I know when I started, it was it was post-COVID, but there was no restrictions. And the team had everything pretty on lock for the most part. But then, of course, the strike came afterwards. I do remember that.
So you guys did this within a year or two, or how long was production?
For which one?
That's what I'm looking at, Mark. Like, which one? Because there was one we did. Go ahead, Mark.
Red Knight Special 2.
The feature film.
The feature film. Sorry, I didn't know there was a short.
Yeah.
There was a short before Red Knight 2.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, gotcha.
There was a short before Red Knight Special, and we shot that at V's house.
Yes.
I didn't see Red Rising, so I don't know if any of those that we shot over there with V are in the film of Red Rising. So
yes,
it is.
But
there's some in there.
It's taking a minute to shoot this and get it out there. But if you need AJ for the exact dates.
So I'll ask AJ when it comes on. It's all good. Sean's still having trouble. I feel so bad. Let me try to message him. And let me tell this my network head, Joe Ridgely.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
No, I've had Grace and Andrew on before. Hold on one second. I'm gonna message Sean because I feel so bad that he's not able to come in.
Gabe, text him the link. That's how it works for me.
I'm gonna have to text him the link.
Yes.
Let me. Sorry, guys. Give me a moment. I'll text you the link. Let me go get it. I'm gonna text him the link because I don't know why it's acting up so much. Yeah, these technical difficulties. It's when you have this many people on a show, there's always something bound to go wrong.
Always.
If something doesn't go wrong, there's something wrong. So yeah. So tell us a little bit about So Andrew wrote this. He didn't just direct it, right? Or was somebody else write it? Or it was Andrew's project?
He had another writer.
I don't
recall her name, but there was another writer with him, as far as I know.
And this was based off a short, or was the short part of the film?
Short was first, and then the film.
Right, but I'm saying, was the short included in the film?
Yes.
I didn't see that. Was it? I don't know.
Yeah, the short was included in the final feature.
Okay.
So which part was the short, if you don't mind me asking?
the shots at the house where the shootout.
Really?
Running down the steps, Tiffany's running down, and Big Sis is behind the couch, and that whole shootout scene, that was in the short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it kind of moves back and forth between 2 and 1. Mm-hmm. So in a way, to like this 2, you can clearly understand it, but for us, because there was a short prior to that, it all folds together and it makes a lot more sense for for us.
That's actually very interesting.
Yeah, it was yeah.
Usually a short that gets turned into a feature, the short is usually somewhere in the middle or the beginning of the film. This one's actually from the end, which is very different than usual. So like what was the budget on this? Because like you guys had a lot of, hold on a second. Oh, here we go. Here's Shawn. After all that trouble, I'm so sorry, dude. There he is. Sorry about that, Shawn.
Hey, Shawn.
Hi, Shawn.
You froze. Hey, you know what I say? Better late than pregnant, or something like that. Me and my puns. Sorry, I have to.
All fine. Hi, Shawn.
Shawn,
he's getting situated.
He's getting situated. Okay.
Nice shoulder, Shawn. Nice. Sexy.
So, everyone, in the meantime, tell us a little bit about the experience on set, how it was working with the team, and if there were any, I don't know, battles you had. Not battles, but battles, meaning like shooting the film. Were there any like tricky issues, like any issues during production that helped? Oh God, we lost them.
As far as well,
things fell short.
But I was always trying to get everybody on the same schedule, because
like we're doing here.
Yeah. So as far as I know, but you're asking all these production questions that only AJ could answer.
Okay, sorry.
We don't know that I wasn't part of the production.
Okay.
And anybody else here was, so we can't answer those questions.
I got you. I'm actually more production based, so that's why I tend to do that sometimes.
Oh, you need AJ.
But I will say this though.
Mm-hmm.
All of us, you know how you have some sets where people, don't get along or things happen. We all got along. That's one thing I will say.
I was going to say that. We all work together.
And that was so important. We all got along. Andrew was amazing. The lines that he wrote, if there were like little things we needed to tweak that brought out more of our character, that brought out more of us, he allowed room for those things. Maybe the clothing, certain things that we thought would look a little better, he allowed for those things. So he allowed for not huge things, but he allowed for little things to help bring out our characters of who we really were in this film.
So he gave you some leeway in terms of your character's development.
Yes, absolutely.
That's nice. Yeah, he seems like a really open-minded. He says I've only spoken to him a few times, like hung out with him a couple of times, spoken to him a handful of times, but he seems like he's really passionate about the project, and he knows that the people involved know their characters, so it gives them a chance to improvise a little bit.
Yes.
What's it called? Grace, what did you do? Any improvs that you did, like in terms of your character? Anything regarding your drug lord?
Well, do you remember my scene where I'm talking to my brother and I like jump on the desk?
Yes.
And I like open my legs. I mean, that was me. Like that was me just improvising, having fun with an action while filming. And I mentioned this because you asked, but I was talking about that with AJ the other day. AJ made a joke, that I opened my legs in front of my brother, but it's more so like asserting dominance, because if anyone who sees the movie, they'll see that I'm the drug lord, a female, not my brother. So I was kind of putting it in his face. The movie itself, I think, is very female oriented. AJ will say that. There's a lot of female leads. I mean, 3 of us are here right now.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm not going to say it's a woman's film, but it's female oriented.
Definitely.
It's a very diverse cast.
Well,
Yes.
Very female oriented because it has Vernette and Chrystal, and then you came on.
Yes.
It was very female driven.
Well, yeah, female heroines and female villains. Sorry, Mark.
Right.
So I like that you have female heroines, female villains, male heroes. I think you got a couple of male heroes and a bunch of male villains. So it's not like it's just like it's not just diverse. You have nobody can ever find a problem with it.
Right.
We hope not.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
people complain, but
you Chrystal, your character, I believe, like confided in V in a lot of this. Did you girls like ever like behind the scenes try to like talk? Do you ever take a step aside and like behind the scenes have a chat about the characters, talk about approaches you could take?
Yeah, definitely
develop.
We had an amazing time shooting at V's. It's upstate, right, V?
Right.
Upstate. Yeah, and it was incredible to kind of like have like that bonding time like away from set where we were able to get into even more character development as big sis, little sis, as in my mind at that time, because I was doing stuff on Power, in my mind I looked at it as a female Tommy and Ghost, if you will.
Oh,
her being the the Ghost and leading and me being the Tommy, like, listen, if we got to shoot him up, we just got to shoot him up, like just kind of being impulsive because I want to impress my sister. At the same time, I'm trying to figure out this relationship, but I know he's playing with me because I know he has other things going on. And we definitely had a great time bonding behind the scenes. And then, of course, that comes through on camera, just with like feeling all the different range of emotions coming through. And just to play off what you guys were saying before, the diversity in the film blew me away. To see the final result of it, I was just like, wow, you don't really get to see this, especially it being, a Harlem, New York classic. It's so amazing to capture all these different flavors and sauces, and from El Tapone into Red, and then the backstory of Red and the backstory of OZ, you know what I mean? Like, to see that film scene of us in the club, we had a shot that we did at my Washington Heights place that I totally forgot about. But when I saw
yes, there you are, Shawn.
I was like, when we first met OZ and Red, like that was incredible. It was just
right.
It was so nostalgic to see that because I wasn't expecting to see clips of the short. I didn't know what to expect. I just kind of put it in AJ and God's hands, and I was pleasantly surprised to see the mix of everybody added on. I love seeing Shawn. I love seeing Grace. I just love seeing how everybody came on. Celeste, like it was such a beautiful blend. And it just worked out so amazingly well, both behind the scenes and in front. So yeah.
Nice. Shawn, I want to welcome you back. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties, man.
Hey,
I have no
Shawn.
idea what was happening. Hey, everybody.
It's all good. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you.
And I actually want to bring up, Mark, about your character. You were OZ, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's interesting because your character was initially killed off
right
at the beginning. However, your character plays a prominent role throughout the story regardless.
Right.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about like no, could you tell us a little bit about your character?
I'm laughing with you.
Sorry.
Shawn and I grew up together, and of course Red is Shawn's little brother. And it's like always, you don't want to hang out with your little brother. And Shawn and I ran things, and when Shawn got shot, I took over. Red didn't like that, so henceforth I get killed. But in the first one, where Vernette is having a conversation with Red, and he says he kills me. In the second one, it opens up with me getting killed.
Right.
Okay. That's how it segued right into it. I didn't see the second one yet, but as far as I know, it's segued because the trailer. I saw the trailer. So it actually ties it all together. And then Shawn is mentioned, but then in the second one, Shawn is brought out to character, and we did our thing.
Well, I know because they in the second one, which I guess you said you haven't seen yet, they constantly flash back to your character's backstory with other actors when the characters were younger. So I didn't know you didn't see it. So I apologize for not realizing. So Shawn,
Mark has such a powerful scene. I mean, he's gonna see it. Yeah. He already knows it, obviously. But I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but the opening scene of Mark when he's screaming,
Oh yeah.
that like blows me away every time.
Well, when you say blows you away because he got blown away,
Oh, I didn't even mean it like that. I didn't mean to make a joke, but it's incredible acting. The whole movie's believable, but that's one of my favorite scenes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Plus, I have so many holes in my head anyway, so sorry, I had to make that. So, Shawn, how are you? It's good to see you again. Tell us a little bit about your character, and for anybody who hasn't seen the film, or even those who have seen the film, a little refresher.
Well, yeah. So I'm not sure how much you all covered already, but I played Jamal, and Jamal is Red's older brother that I guess leading by example in all the wrong ways, right? And you know they had. I think it comes from there's a part of the film that shows their upbringing, and like Jamal was always the one out in the street, and he pretty much kept his brother. Oh, I don't know if he kept his brother out of it. That would be an AJ question, but his brother wasn't really part of the game. And then eventually, because of seeing what he did with OZ, everything that his brother kind of, and because of the life that they were living, his brother decided to join the game as well. And you know, I take him under my wing, and then of course he becomes his own man and takes over. And then that's all I'll give away for that. But it was really cool working on this film, though. A lot of fun, actually.
I gotta tell you guys,
the day I came to this, the first day I'm sorry, not to cut you off. The first day I came to the set, I actually saw one of Grace's scenes. And, and I got to see what they were all working on already, and it was really cool. I was excited from there.
Well, let me bring up some screenshots. Here was the one of you, Mark, from the beginning. Yeah, I got some screenshots from the set.
Bouncing off of how to make it a little more realistic, and how would I react to a situation like that. So that's what we were doing.
Mark,
he actually gave us a chance to talk about the scene and make it feel as comfortable as we felt to do it, as comfortable as to be his vision, to achieve his vision and make us feel and look good. So
Mark, sorry.
Yes.
No, you've had a lot of action and stunt roles and other projects. So you have a background in like making this stuff have a more realistic feel anyway. Probably.
Yeah, I'm the old guy here. Thank you very much for.
I didn't mean it that way.
Experienced.
I didn't take it. No, but
seasoned, sir.
Seasoned.
I met AJ working on a different film with Michael Shannon and with a lot of stars in it. And I met him then, and it's been years that he's been developing this. And he's like, I got something for you. And finally, we did it.
Nice. Could you tell us a little bit about? I'm gonna circle around, but Mark, tell us a little bit about your roles working on Power Book 2 and Ghost, Power Book 2 Ghost, and John Wick 2.
2 and Ghost. I was doing a lot of background. I don't do background anymore, but I did a stunt. I played a marshal. I played a lot of things on Ghost. So I'm all over the place in there. So it's not. I didn't do anything major, but I like Chrystal. I didn't do anything like Chrystal. So talk to Chrystal.
Hold on a second. I think
that video, honey.
I got another shot. Oh, here's another shot.
Wow.
It's a behind the scenes shot of
killed it.
when Red was beating you. Yeah. Well, I do my research. I try to get some good shots before I have the show. I mean, I have you guys from other stuff too. I got what I can gather. Chrystal, I know you were in Power, and I'm trying to find the shots I got. I don't know. Was this from Power or was this from Power Book 2 Ghost?
Ghost. That's Power Book 2. The opening episode.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So that's the younger version of Tommy, if you will, with his dynamic with Tariq. That's kind of what it's supposed to be a play on.
Okay.
So it was a really cool power dynamic because a lot of people don't know they actually casted me as the owner of the Gentlemen's Club, but they also wanted me to be a dancer as well. So I pulled from Players Club with the Darling Diamond of Lisa Ray McCoy. Shout out to the McCoy family.
Okay.
Yeah, so in my mind, the way that I went into the character, because I'm obviously more, I like to play more with comedic roles. And so this one, I asked the director, Anthony Hemingway, amazing director. He's also part of the Forever series. He's incredible. And so, yeah, when he did it, I sat with him and we were able to do a little bit more character development, and I combined it dollar bill and diamond. So if you know Players Club, Bill Mack was the owner, Diamond was a dancer. And so I combined that to where I had a power dynamic where I was able to put a little bit of comic relief in there. And we played with it. We had fun. I had a whole choreographed scene, and they ended up, of course, stuff gets cut out. So, but yeah, I got to play a lot with that character, and it was super fun. Cabernet was her name. So
nice.
Yeah. And then Method Man, Mary J. Blige. I love the way they did the spinoff of that entire series really, really well. So yeah.
Well, I will say regarding the characters in Red Knight Special 2 Red Rising, I love that Andrew created these character posters, because usually it's like you get these big cinematic movies and you get all these 28 years later is now doing character posters. Some of the Saw films did character posters, but what I love what he did here. Here, let me go down. There's Trevor. I'm hoping he joins soon. There's Trevor. Here is Grace and Nicholas.
Yeah. Yes.
Was there a scene with you using the guitar in the movie? I do not remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't remember. I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna watch it again next week because I don't recall the exact scene.
I remember.
And here is V looking all badass.
Right.
Here's V and Celeste.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And here is Grace again from the final scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Or the part
I
one.
love that.
I guess.
So if I can say, speaking of Grace, I wanted to say that when I saw that scene in that office, when you put that knife through that table, that part, that scene right there was just out of this world. Like, you did that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh my God, thank you.
No, you did that. And Chrystal coming out that car, like, I can think of the scenes that you guys did. And Mark, you got to see your part. I don't want to really give yours up and give it away. And Jamal, like, you guys, I want to just say that I think everybody did a fantastic job. But there are, like, I'm not picking out parts that were good and not good. I'm saying the whole thing the film was great. But there is just memorable things of the people that I've actually been on set with and worked with you guys that just are like, wow. When you see them doing it, you don't think it's going to really come out that way, because you're wondering, did I do good? Did I deliver it okay? These are the questions. And then when you see it, actually up on the screen, it looks completely different. So I have to compliment everybody in here. You guys did amazing.
Thank you, Big Sis.
Yes, thank you, V.
You're
thank
very
you.
welcome.
I was, I was blown away by the film when I first saw it. You know what it felt like? It felt like very Quentin Tarantino-esque, like Reservoir Dogs. Like the ending was like Reservoir Dogs. That's like what I felt like what Andrew was going for.
Right. So that's what we were saying. What Mark and I and Chrystal were saying is that it's similar to that, because if you go with the first part that we did and you rock it back and forth the way it did, it favors that a lot.
Yeah.
And the fact that it all happened in a house of all places,
as
opposed to like one of those factory or warehouses, it happened in a house.
Yep.
So like that alone is like, you don't expect the shootout like that to happen in such a close encountered.
The scene that we shot with Shawn and El Tapón, where we get shot at, was in the studios where Andrew was loaned the studio where they shoot Godfather of Harlem. Because he worked as an AD or second AD or something on it, and they were very when they were closed. They
Yep, I remember that.
We borrowed it and we went there. But the rest of the other scenes, when we shot in Vernetta's house, and that's how everybody bonded because we were there for 4 days.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Was it 4 days? I thought it was longer than that.
Sleepover. It felt like a week sleepover.
Wow.
Incredible.
That was a
That's
big house.
fun.
Yeah.
Prosthetics, the whole bit. Yeah.
So
Well, I got to bring up a few more screenshots I found from this set. This is, I think, from the opening scene.
Okay.
Oh.
That's the introduction of El Tapón, yes.
Yeah.
And the police officers. Mm-hmm.
Please forgive me. When I first read it as El Tampon, and I read it as El Tapón. Sorry,
Well, it's I think majority of people will, but it's slang. It's okay.
But what does it mean, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I think it's slang for plug.
yeah, plug.
Okay.
Yeah, plug, like drug dealer plug.
But it's also a plug.
Or a regular plug, I guess. Yeah.
All pun intended, baby.
Plug intended. And I got a few more. Here's another one.
Oh, that's me and Negro. Yeah, he's great.
Most of the BTS shots I found had Grace. I mean,
Okay.
Andrew. No, I couldn't find
it.
a lot of BTS. The only other ones I found were Mark. With
Oh,
Mark.
that's a great
and,
shot. That's great.
Yeah, I love those shots.
Super fun fact, Torn that's in that shot with Grace. I didn't film on set with him.
This one?
But yes.
So that's Torian, yes, on the side.
Torian,
to the right.
we worked together on Mac Wild's After Hours. Super cool music video visual years prior. So I was like super excited when I saw later on.
Wow.
In the feature. I was like, amazing. AJ's amazing at just bringing timeless talents together. So just super fun.
It's nice bumping into your old colleagues. Sorry.
Chrystal, did you say Mac Wilds?
Yeah, Mac and Greg, the After Hours.
I'm going to see him Saturday.
Amazing. Yeah, Mark's worked with them on something else. What was the other thing you guys worked on?
We did, oh my God, we did that short that won, it won some award. Whatever.
Yes, they called me and I was like, you got to get Mark. He's the guy.
We did it.
Amazing.
I think they're trying to sell it to Netflix.
Yes.
Wow.
Let's go.
Yeah. Thank you, Chrystal.
I just want to say it's great when you're working on different projects and you bump into your old co-stars and colleagues and crew members. I actually had last week, I had on a guest named Frankie G, who's on Power as well.
Oh my God.
Frankie and Martyr Maker with Tom Sizemore.
Yeah. Oh, you know Frankie? And you work with Tom? I never had the pleasure of meeting Tom, but I have friends who work with him. How was it working with Tom?
Tom Sizemore?
Tom Sizemore, yeah.
He's a trip, but once the camera's on, he's like a different animal.
I've heard that.
Guy, if he's in your house, he would have gone through all your medicine cabinets and taken your Benadryl. He was like that. It was all once the camera was a completely different, super professional on camera.
Well, I'm gonna send Frankie your best. I'm gonna speak to him this weekend.
Tell him what's up.
I will, and because the point I was trying to make regarding that was that Frankie, he worked on Saw 2 with Donnie Wahlberg.
Yes.
And then he worked on Blue Bloods with Donnie Wahlberg, and Donnie gave him this big hello. And it's funny because Frankie's one of the only actors I know, and I know personally, who's worked with both Mark Wahlberg and Donnie Wahlberg.
Oh, okay.
Because he's worked in Italian Job and Blue Bloods.
Yeah, but Frankie has a show on. It's the Familia.
Family Business, Family Business with Ernie Hudson.
He's got his own show now.
Yeah, and they just finished filming season 6, so that's coming out soon.
Oh, good for him.
Oh,
season 6?
Season 6.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He worked in Power for a couple of.
Yeah, he was.
He gets killed off in Power, but he was there for a minute.
Yeah, he was. I worked on Blue Bloods. He's incredible.
Yeah, and also I have to bring this up, Mark, but was this an extra work or was this like you were a dancer? Was in the Sex and the was that you in Sex and the City?
Yeah, actually,
Sorry,
what
I'm sorry.
was that, Mark?
Director to do that part, and that was used as an advertisement by HBO. But it was all the girls. But I worked on all the seasons and all the movies.
Really?
Wow.
So I was,
That's Sex and the City, Mark?
Yeah.
Oh, I need all the tea on that.
Oh yeah, we need the tea on Sex in the City.
Sorry to drop that on you, Mark.
Oh my God.
That I did with King
You work
Chrystal.
with Sarah. We love her.
And I'm taking a piss, and she's looking at me, and then she was. Never mind.
I love it. Aww.
I actually have a friend who was on Sex in the City. He played the one guy that Kim Cattrall couldn't seduce. He's also worked films that Frankie was in. Costas Mandylor. He's from the Saw movies.
What's his name?
Costas Mandylor.
Okay.
He was from the Saw movies, and he's an old friend. But he played the friar, friar that Kim Cattrall couldn't seduce. I don't know if you girls watch the show.
No, I know who he is. I met New Jersey HorrorCon.
Yes, he was there
Right?
back in November.
He was
I couldn't
there.
make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an old friend of mine.
Yeah.
He's one of my best friends in the industry. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's a
Aw.
small world. Like, you have all these friends, people that you know that work in this show and that show. Forget 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's never even that small. I never even that big. And
Gabe, how did you get that photo of Mark?
Yeah, how did you get that photo from him from Sex in the City? Where were you digging
on
at?
IMDb. It's on IMDb.
Okay.
I did not go like I'm not a viewer of Sex in the City. I usually can't stand Sarah Jessica Parker, but I loved her New Year's Eve.
Already, I love that. It's awesome.
Speaking of which, since we're going that direction, there, Shawn, I have some stuff from shots, some stuff you've been in, but there's this ad that you were in for a drink called True Blood. And
True Blood, the TV
True
show?
Blood. Well, I don't know. Does Shawn tell me? Does it have anything to do with True Blood?
That's cool.
Does it have anything to do with the show?
Yes. So they for a hot second, HBO came out with this ad campaign where they had the drink. It was actually a drink that a beverage, and so that was an ad for the True Blood beverage. It was like it looks like blood.
Wow.
Yeah, because I had the third shot. I don't know where it went, but then there's a scene where you pour the blood on you,
Yeah.
and the girl turns into a vampire and then lunges at you. I just
Yeah, it was
great ad.
It was pretty fun shooting that too.
I feel like it must have been a fun shoot.
Look at Shawn already taking a take at Sinners Before Sinners.
Yes.
Oh, right. I didn't even think about that. I need to call my man and tell him let's put me in part 2.
Connect the dots.
Yeah, connect the dots. I like that.
And Shawn, you've played a cop in a couple of things, right?
Yeah, I get cops a lot, so it was actually kind of refreshing to say the least to play the opposite end of that.
Wow.
And Red Rising, but yeah, I usually play a cop.
Well, I got some shots of you as a cop. This is, I think, you pull over a guy in this shot in this film.
Nice.
Yeah, and then this is another one. This more takes place in a interpersonal conversation between like a family member or something.
Yeah, that was my son. I was talking to my son, which not to give it away, but well, and it was an indie film, but at the end I actually accidentally shoot my son in an altercation, unbeknownst to me.
Oh,
so it was probably it's probably like more.
It was a comedy.
No, oh god, yeah, definitely not. But like this seemed like it was from a comedy when you in this role you played.
That was from a film called Damsels in Distress. So it had a short run in theaters. That was pretty cool.
Was this also from Damsels in Distress?
No, that's from actually a film called Sweet Thing.
Sweet Thing.
Yeah.
I like that.
that.
Sweet Thing.
You really did your research, Gabe. You went digging.
Oh, I like to be prepared.
I love it.
I like that.
Yeah, that's your job. Thank you.
And I got a lot of stuff of Trevor, but like I don't know where. Hold on a second, and I don't know where. That's Mark. That's Mark. Sorry.
Oh wow, Mark.
wow.
I had it misplaced. Was this from Fringe?
Yes.
That's awesome. Wow, that's such a good
That
shot.
is one of my favorite shows of all time, and I can't believe you were in that. That's literally one of my favorite shows of all time.
It was actually a stunt, and I worked with, may he rest in peace. He was SWAT, and they all took me under their wing, and they taught me how to do everything. So
Yeah.
a lot of fun, and it was stunt work, which was great. I mean, and you get to see my face. So
Yeah.
was a lot
That's
of fun.
great. Yeah, sorry, I had your shots mixed in with hold on a second, with some of Trevor's. I don't know what. Yeah, I had like some shots of Trevor from different things that I was going to bring up, but I don't know where he went. Yeah, he hasn't good quite a nice repertoire too of stuff. So. But I haven't heard from Trevor. Andrew's going to be late, but I'm sure he'll come in soon. I actually right after we watched Red Night Special 2 Red Rising, I made this meme of Grace for regarding Grace's character. I had to bring it up because it's so funny.
Yeah, thank you.
Because like literally that's like the first thing that came to mind. Like you'll get some more of that Grace Julianna as a crime.
I have my first meme. Thank you.
For sure.
Post that again after next week.
I will. I will post it on
I'm gonna talk about it.
And the fact that Dave Chappelle is in your first meme is pretty damn cool.
Right, is in your first meme.
Thank you, Gabe. Thank you, Gabe.
Sure,
Let's make something happen.
My pleasure. And Chrystal, I want you to tell us a little bit about your upcoming show. I'm going to bring up the poster. Tell us a little bit about this.
Absolutely. So this poster here is the pre-show we're doing this summer to promote the show, the talk show series I have. It's a variety talk show series that my production company has been developing since 2020. It's called Truth Be Told Talk Show. So we're doing a live pre-show this summer. That's what this ad is for. And we're going to be joining forces with my alma mater, Clark Atlanta University. That's where I got my degree in TV, radio, film, mass media arts. And they have an incredible television studio, state-of-the-art radio station, and just bringing awareness to HBCUs and that whole demographic, and making sure that there's a safe space for people to come be heard and let their truth be told.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be nice.
I love that. Where is it going to be premiering on or airing on?
So right now we own the intellectual property of it. We're going to be launching it on our own YouTube channel. And then we've got a few interested platforms, but we want to start it off on our own so that way we can control the direction it goes in. And just making sure that the right viewership and the right creativity and keeping the creative control to make sure it's able to continue to be a safe space. Like that's like one of the biggest things. When we launched it in Atlanta, it was at the time of the Black Lives Matters movement and just so many things happening with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. And one of the things we noticed is that there wasn't so many spaces for outlets that weren't controlled by the media. You know what I mean? To kind of like silence people or tamper it down, or it's like, okay, you had your moment, now we're moving on. And it's like, no, we need to expound and speak about how this traumatizes communities, families, and cultures. And so it's based on making sure that the truth is actually being told, no fake news here, and just, making sure that people have what they need, all demographics, but it's coming from me, of course, graduating from an HBCU and having people around the world that want to have their stories told without it being censored or silenced.
Well, when this comes out, please send me the details. I will tune in and I will share it on my social media from YouTube, because I believe I have some friends who would be very interested in getting involved or checking it out.
Sure.
So yeah, I'd be honored to help promote that.
No, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course. And I guess, where's Andrew?
I just gave AJ the link.
I sent him. I told him I sent it. Okay, good. I sent him the link hours ago. I guess you didn't see it.
I think text message is what
text messages
is working.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, here he is. Andrew, how you doing, man?
The man, the myth, the legend.
What's going on, guys? How are you? How's everybody? I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I am on like a super.
That's not funny here.
Huh? I can't hear you.
Funny here.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? I watched a little bit, but I couldn't really make out that Sex in the City picture of you, Mark.
Hold on, let me bring it up again.
Can we show it again?
Yeah, can we show it again? Oh my God!
Yeah, look at him. He's so
Well, Mark,
serious. In the
Mark,
face.
you and Andrew must be friends that he wants to embarrass you so easily.
Mark is actually a lot more than my friend. He's like an uncle.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's like an uncle to me. He's Mark and I go back and forth.
I have no shame.
Excuse me for one moment, guys.
No, you're good.
For sure. Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah,
I love that you
Mark,
have the poster back there.
I know, right?
Mark and I go back. Mark knew my uncle, Leroy Burgess. Yeah. So Mark's known me since I was a child, and has been like kind of we reconnected on Wolves, right? Wolves? Yeah. Was it Wolves? Right? Yeah. We reconnected on Wolves, and when I joined the film business, I was like rookie PA, and of course he was like kicking my ass and whatever. He didn't look like that picture anymore though. I don't know. That must have been Sex and the City season 1. I don't know. I love all you guys, man. Oh, Chrystal, I like the hat. What? Oh, well, look at everybody. It's so flavorful today. All right.
I think my room's more flavorable than I am. Flavorful. Sorry, flavorable.
All fine and flavorable.
The tongue twister.
We mentioned all the flavors you were able to combine for the film. Yes. How you did such a great job of just the diversity of everything, and the inclusion was incredible.
I did hear a piece too about like the Torian thing when you were talking about how Torian was in the film. That's crazy, like happen chance. I know. So Torian and I got close on Law and Order because he's a regular on Law and Order, and when I told him what I had. He was like, yeah, I'd play that part, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's a quick part and he'd like to be in it. And then also he did that job with Mac Wilds and Tiffany and Chrystal, excuse me, I called you by your character name, Chrystal. But Chrystal and I had met a long time ago on The Breaks, which was a show that we did with Mac Wilds, because Mac Wilds was actually he played the young son. He played Method Man's son at that time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And we all got really tight on that. Trevor was on that as well. He did stunts and acting on that film as well, on that TV show. So we all met. We came close, and it just Torian was like, hey, Chrystal, I worked with her, and it was like great. Like it's awesome. Just having so many people getting to showcase their talents, because again, like I said at the premiere. I couldn't have did this without you guys. You know what I mean? Like it's words on the paper and it's ideas and thoughts in my head, right? But then you guys all brought it to life, and each one of you brought something to it. I mean, do you know? So that scene at the beginning, I don't want to give too much away because hopefully people are gonna go see it on Wednesday, at the theater. But Mark gave me so much smoke at shooting that scene. Remember, Mark, you were like, but I need my hands tied because otherwise I'm jumping out the chair and I'm going to smack him. Why don't I have something in my mouth? But things like that help to make the characters real and the moments real. So going back to that, like I said, like when Charles said, don't run off with my money, or what Chrystal brought to Tiffany. And, knowing that she was a college student that, came back from college and got caught up in the streets and her sister really didn't want it. These are things that you don't see on the screen, but helped to create these real characters. So you guys, forget what I did. You guys did amazing work. And I think about this every time I watch it. And I see the nuances and I see the things that you brought to the table. So thank you.
I actually have a question for Mark, but I got to bring up a quick backstory first for the question. So Darren Bousman, the director of Saw, the Saw 2, 3, 4, and 9, Spiral, which he did with Chris Rock and Sam Jackson. Now, Sam Jackson it could be a little bit of a tough guy to direct, according to Darren. Like he says, like Sam Jackson directs himself. Like nobody directs Sam Jackson. That's what Darren says. But there's a scene where Sam Jackson has to take a gun and come into like a warehouse with a flashlight and a gun, and Darren wants him to hold the flashlight with one hand and the gun with the other. But what Sam Jackson is doing is he puts the flashlight in his mouth, and he's like, to hold it is like, And Darren's like, no, I want you to hold it like this. And he's like, motherfucker, I was a Navy SEAL. Like, I know this stuff. Like, I know what to do. So because he knows how to how to approach the situation. So Mark, being that you know that you have to be tied up, are you used to being tied up? Are you used to being I'm just messing. Yeah, no, seriously. Like
I had no idea that's where you're going with that.
I know. You put yourself in a situation like that, and somebody is beating you up, and your hands are free. Are you going to sit down and take it?
Right. No, I know.
Especially OZ with his reputation and history in the streets. He's not just going to sit there and let it happen. He's going to fight back.
It makes sense. Like, you're gonna have your legs tied. If not your legs tied, you're gonna have your feet tied. You know, your hands tied. You're gonna have your feet tied too.
No,
I mean, like, you could literally stand up and like swing the chair around, like knowing.
I'm not a Navy SEAL. I'm a drug dealer in the film. It's not like I'm not Scarlett Johansson where I'm gonna flip this chair over. But
in Avengers, right?
You know what I mean? I'm not an Avenger. Thank you, JJ.
You're not a fighter. You're a dealer. I get it. Okay.
No. Well, if you're a dealer, you got to be a fighter.
No, I know. I'm messing. Yeah.
So I also took from experience.
Yeah. I see Andrew's like face.
Yes, Jay.
Also, so to kind of go into that, so we were really on our own when we did chapter 1, and we spent 4 days at my sister's house. But there's this, but I remember. So Mark actually helped AD that for me as I was directing, because I was still really like understanding what my thinking was or what I wanted. And there's a scene in the first one, actually it's in the second one as well, when you see the two guys run along the building with their guns down. Mark actually, like, I kept having them run like gangsters, and he was like, no, they wouldn't be running like that. They'd be running very strategically, thinking about that. So that scene, he helped me to make them look more real. So that
Mark played cops before, or officers.
I played a cop for most of my background career. So I played a cop a lot. I also played a criminal. I played a bouncer, and I was a bouncer in real life and a drug dealer in real life. So yeah, so I just drew from my experience in my life.
Andrew, we were speaking
I think I met your uncle.
Never gonna tell any of this. Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Gabe?
No, it's fine. No, because we mentioned earlier, like, we all agree that this is very Quentin Tarantino-esque. Red Night Special 2, Red Night Special 2, Red Rising, very, very Reservoir Dogs-esque. When you were putting this together, was that what you were going for? I know you didn't write it alone.
Well, yeah, no. So JoJo, I wrote most of it.
Okay.
JoJo helped me write the fact that I needed to add it to extend it out. I'm not really a big dialogue kind of person. I really like to get to the point, and JoJo really likes dialogue, which is important. So we had to find a middle ground, and I needed someone. She's my protege anyway. She has films coming out, so she did help me write. But getting back to Quentin Tarantino might be my favorite director.
Okay.
So I mean, obviously Spike and all of the other people too as well, but Quentin's storytelling, his style of storytelling, his out of time, non-linear storytelling is something that really, really gets me. I guess Reservoir Dogs, and I love that. You guys have no idea how much that's making me happy, because Reservoir Dogs is like my #1 film.
It's my favorite Quentin Tarantino film, next to Inglourious
That and Inglourious Basterds. See, that's what we're gonna say that. So I like Quentin that much, and for you guys to say that is without knowing that, says a lot about how he inspired my filmmaking. Because it does come together like that. It's out of time stories. I think that in reality, stories happen out of time. You don't know what happened yesterday that caused me to do what I'm doing today. And if you only see today, you don't see what happened yesterday. You don't really understand why Andrew killed 12 people in the post office.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So basically, show them a piece of yesterday. Show them a piece of a year ago. All of these moments that came together to make this moment. And that's kind of how I tried to tell Red Night Special, because it's Red Knight Special 2, but 2-ish, because it really tells the whole story of 1 and 2 together. We just missed like some of the nuances, you know what I mean? It's like some of the, like if you go back and watch it on YouTube, you'll see chapter 1 really kind of just tells more about that one night, because Red Knight Special Chapter 1 is just one night, basically. It's just the one, well, is it just the one night? It's the one night when she goes to get killed, but then it shows the party too. So I guess it's 2 nights technically.
Couple flashbacks.
Yeah, with the flashbacks, just like 2 nights with the flashbacks.
I was going to say that earlier, the creativity, I kind of wanted to wait till you were on. I remember looking at the script for the expansion for Red Knight 2, and I was so blown away by like your ability to add in a slight horror scene, but still make it drama, still make it in depth, to where the scene where you have me coming out of, it wasn't purgatory, but even the purgatory scene, like there were so many nuances. When I saw it all together, I was like, wow. Like I'm used to being in your head and then on the paper, but to see it all full-fledged was so like it really kept taking me to a place of like, I love this type of in-depth intellect of seeing somebody come back and it's like, well, if you love me, then why'd you kill me?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he's sitting there fantasizing about this girl, and he doesn't even realize
that was amazing.
Yeah, because he loved thing. I appreciate that, because, well, I think that the journey of Red's character, it tells a lot. Like so the film ends up being a tragedy, right? It's a tragedy, but so I had discussions also with Trevor about like how to examine the Red character. You know what I mean? Like, who was he in the beginning? Like, we see him argue with his or discuss things with his mom. So you get to see how he turns. He's just a regular kid. He's a blank slate at the beginning, and then these things keep happening. And then later on, those things still exist within him, even with the cemetery scene. Right? Yeah. You know, he's like, Mom, I love you. I love the streets, but I'm addicted just like you were, in a different way. But then along the way, those 2 scenes, like the purgatory scene and the dream scene, also show his challenge. You know, what he's still going through, even though, you know, he was shot in the head and he's been this drug dealer, hustler, blah, 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 challenging, killed OZ, and basically didn't give a fuck. And secretly, he's really in pain. Yeah. You know, secretly, he's really in pain. So,
that scene with the mother, the drug addict, like, was just heartbreaking. That's like real life horror for me.
Yeah, that was a painful scene. So Gabe, you know, I was on the show before. We talked about Game On and like the horror stuff, but Red Knight Special is very close to me. We actually, so there's scenes that are actually shot in my apartment where I grew up. The scene at the beginning when he's like a kid, and he's arguing with his parents, that's in my room where I grew up at. You know, so the early stuff is shot in the neighborhood and where I grew up. You know, so like that scene is shot in one of the buildings in the development where I grew, and it just reminded me of the people that I knew. You know, it wasn't my mom, but it was one of my friends' moms that I wrote about. You know, and I think Trevor referred to this like when he asked about when he was asked about his character Red, and he said, unfortunately, Red's not a character. Red is somebody we know, we grew up with.
Really?
And, not like he's a real person, but he's a combination of people that we really grew up around. People that we, unfortunately, that were nice kids, that were educated kids, that just got caught up in the wrong situation and had to, you know, deal with these things. And then we get into, you know, chasing.
Some of the greatest storytellers base their characters off people they knew in real life. Not just Stephen King, but Bram Stoker's Dracula. Bram Stoker, a lot of the elements of Dracula were based off elements of people in his life, like a lot of details about Dracula's weaknesses, everything tied into people in his life. I don't know if you knew that, but I'll tell you the truth. There's something intricate. There's an intricacy about nonlinear storytelling that's like anybody could tell a good story in a nonlinear manner is a gifted storyteller. So I got to give you that, Andrew.
I appreciate it. I mean, like I said again, it's just words on the paper until people bring it to life, and these guys brought it to life. And you know, the story, like I really sat there and thought about these pieces. Like I know one of my friends, and I don't want to. His mother was a crackhead. You know what I mean? And she was wandering around the neighborhood, and you know, these things like develop, like all of these little pieces are things that I saw looking out my project window as I grew up, you know, and got to hear, you know. So I mean, it is what it is. I'm just glad you enjoyed the game. I'm glad you came out.
I'm coming out next week.
Yeah,
I
that
hope
would be great. You know, I would love anybody to come out to next week that wants to come see, because it's a public event. It's not just invitation only.
Right. Well, I purposely bought a ticket because I wanted to support.
I appreciate.
I know you got me a cheat last time, but I wanted to support. And I know you had a full theater last time, which was amazing.
And people stayed for what, 35 minutes after?
Yeah.
Talk, and it was
had fun.
Mark, you missed it but Mark could be there this time.
Yeah.
He's actually going to be on the panel.
He was healing.
Yeah, he was healing. But you were missed, Mark.
AJ, I was dying. I'm sorry. I didn't want to die.
Well, undied.
Would have been unfortunate.
Actually, I just want to bring up, I have to apologize to Shawn. Shawn sent me a link before we started. But I want you to tell us a little about the site for this film you sent me a link for, Shawn. Draft Night?
Draft Night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about it?
Shawn, are you muted? You muted, Shawn.
I think you're frozen.
Is he frozen? Is he frozen?
Oh, no, there he is. There he is.
Can you hear me?
There you are. Yeah, now we can.
We hear you now.
Okay, you all went out for a second, so I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
No, oh, so I brought up your you sent me a link about a film called Draft Night.
Yes.
That you're involved in. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I wasn't able to get the details from the website before the show. So I wanted to ask you to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so Draft Night is a short that I wrote and starred, and I played the role of Pops in that. And we just finished our festival run. We started at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood. We made our way to San Francisco, Indy, to Maryland, to Austin, New York. We had one in New York at the Regal in Union Square. And I think I'm missing one, but yeah. Oh, in Cleveland, we made the Cleveland International Film Festival as well. So just finished the festival run, and you know, obviously trying to see what we can do on the distribution end and all of that. But yeah, that's a project that I'm currently still trying to push along with everything else that I'm working on.
What's the film about? What is the premise?
Draft Night it's about a young basketball prodigy on his way to the NBA on the night of the draft. You know, in addition to all of the normal anxiety and things that creep into him, he starts to have worries about just the burden of taking care of his family. If he's going to, you know, as he starts to drop in the draft, a lot of different thoughts creep into him, and he starts to make the correlation between the NBA draft and the slave auction is part of it as well, and you know, other thoughts that weigh on him as well. So it
was like a mental health almost tie-in a little bit.
Mental health, yes, definitely. Just you know, and also trying to flesh out the fact that it's not just, you know, a lot of times we look at opportunities that people come across, and we take it for surface value and not understanding that there's many different layers to it. Even something, you know, as big as going into the NBA. A lot of times we just say, oh, well, what does he have to worry about? He's about to be a millionaire, right? But there's so many other factors that go into something like that. So.
Right.
I've heard so many people like, oh, what does somebody who has millions of dollars or billions of dollars have to cry, or millions of dollars have to cry about? I'm like, you know, everybody suffers from something. Like, just because you have money doesn't mean you're. Yeah, I say money doesn't buy happiness, but it buys things that can make you happy. But like,
exactly, they're still human,
like
and
drugs. Sorry,
they're still human, and they got a lot of other humans that are looking to them to do something and change their lives. So,
yeah.
Shawn, real quick, I wanted to say I love Draft Night. I saw it. You know what I mean? And
I appreciate
it's an
that, man.
excellent movie. I also want to say, so Draft Night was written way before the actual draft. So, and what happened to Deion Sanders' son? Is that not exactly the mirror of the film? Like, I feel like when I watched what happened, so I had watched the film right before that. Like, I literally maybe 16 weeks before that. And then the draft happened, and I was just like, I'm watching the real draft, and I'm like, wait, was it fortune teller? Like, did you tell the future?
No, right. No,
like
what's crazy is this.
Yeah.
Right.
He predicted the future. Like this.
Yeah,
So basically,
I agree, Andrew.
Yeah, I saw that. So I mean, because I told you when I watched it, I enjoyed the film so much. You wrote it, they flew you out, they shot it, you acted in it. You're an amazing talent. Like Shawn, I met on Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Okay.
Yeah, so we met. Were you standing in then? Were you standing in for Titus?
Standing in
you were
for
standing
Titus.
in for Titus, right? You were standing in for Titus. At the time, and I was still. I mean, I wasn't as green as when I met Mark, obviously, but it was still very early in my career. And Shawn and I have been close ever since. Actually, that was like season 2, Kimmy Schmidt, and Kimmy Schmidt ended on season 5, right?
Yeah, I was all 4. It was 4 seasons.
4 seasons. But then they did that movie thing. They
did the movie. Yep.
Movie that nobody watched. Okay.
You didn't have to add that part, AJ.
You just had to add it so casually.
Hey, man. I mean, I love the show, and actually working on the show was amazing. Like, it was the energy on that show was dope. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun show. Every time Titus came to set, he was just like super happy and singing. It was nuts. It was nuts. Like, my experience in the film business has been a very fun one. Like with me and Mark, my first the job I did with Mark, it was with Michael Shannon, and I was driving Michael Shannon. Like, I was Michael Shannon's driver for then. He doesn't like to wear, secret. Shannon doesn't like to wear seatbelts, so whatever. So you have to drive very carefully. You have to drive very carefully with that guy, but I mean, going from that and then to work.
He's a big guy.
He is. He's a giant, tall, very slim guy. Yeah. Mark, you remember working with him? How was that?
It was great.
Yeah.
He rapped me.
So I wanted to ask you, Mark, did you work with Lance Reddick at all on Fringe, or Joshua Jackson, or?
I'm sorry, say
who on Fringe?
Yes. What about
did you work with Lance Reddick or Joshua Jackson or what's his name, the older
Jackson? I met him on set, but I didn't do a scene with him.
Okay.
But very nice guy. He parked his motorcycle on the lot because I don't know, he didn't want to take it home, whatever. But no, the whole group was nice. Everybody was nice.
That show is one of the most out of this world, intricate, like mind-blowing shows. I don't know if you've watched it in addition to being in it.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah. It's like it makes you if any of you ever need an interesting show to check out Fringe, and you'll see Mark at some point. It tries to make you believe things that can't be real, that are or that you would never believe that helps you explain. It helps you they understand them. Like alternate dimensions, and simplifies it so the most simple-minded person can understand about alternate dimensions. It's like the way they do it is just so clever. So yeah. Sorry, Mark, you were saying something about
like X-Files.
Yeah, it's very much like X-Files. Okay. I actually like it more than X-Files.
Okay.
That is really good. So we're gonna be doing a Newark screening next week, but then we're putting together a screening in Atlanta. Did you pitch that, Chrystal, a little bit?
Not yet. I wanted you to be on.
Yeah, so we're still working out details for that, but that would be very, very focused on homecoming type of thing for Chrystal, because Atlanta is her hometown, or her hometown. She has some love down there, a big network down there. So we're gonna go down there and by August show the film down there too. So we're just trying to take the film on the road as much as we can before we get it on streaming, which is just promoting it. Grassroots promotions. You know what I mean? I think it's a good film. I think people will enjoy it. You know.
Yeah.
I love the city to city aspect because I feel like every city is gonna give you a different reaction, and I love that. The fact that a lot of people came into the AUC is what it's called, Atlanta University Center. So a lot of people don't know Spike Lee went to Morehouse College, but he actually studied at my alma mater, Clark Atlanta University. So we actually share the same mentor, Dr. Eichelberger, that put the camera in his hand and taught him how to direct, produce, act. And so that's also my mentor. So we're definitely going to get something going to where the now chairman of the TV, radio, and film department, Professor Gary Yates, who's like a college dad to me. He's also the one that put the battery in my back for the talk show. He's definitely super excited to just however he can plug in independent films because he's also a thespian actor. He's very big on just giving a spotlight to up and coming actors, directors, and of course showing a spotlight for the students to see how you can come in from studying and then going on to master your craft. So super excited about taking that to Atlanta for sure.
Yeah, man. I'm just excited for more and more people to see this film.
Yeah. Take it on the road as much as you can before you get it to distribution. Like squeeze in some more trips. Squeeze in some more trips.
It is something to see, like to see the people react. You know what I mean? Like you all got to see the theater full of people applaud your work that you did at different times. It may not have been on set together when you did it, but whatever, you got to see this collage of work that came together the way it did, and people really enjoyed it. You know, and I mean that's what I like. I like being able to go out there and touch the people, and then they tell, "Hey, it sucked," or whatever. You know, tell me to do better, or you could do this at this time. And they didn't have any of that. There was none of that.
Haven't heard any of that.
There was none of that. There'll be none of that today.
I do have to say, and this is not because I know her, but like just seeing this with the shortest character in the whole movie be the most badass like drug dealer, Grace, like El Tapon, or however I'm pronouncing it.
That's the joke Mark was making the whole time. He was making that joke the whole time.
But Grace, and I'm like, you're like literally the smallest person on like in the movie, and you're like the most evil badass, like except for Red. You're like take no shit, like I'm the boss, like killing your own men, and just like it's like you're ruthless. I love it.
Thank you. When I met AJ on the set of Godfather of Harlem. We talked about what we wanted to do with our careers, or future, or whatnot. I think I told him I've always wanted to play badass, like Angelina Jolie. That's what I want to do. I want to do badass chick roles. I want to be respected. I want to have fun. I want to kill some people. So I told him I like Queen of the South, and he started talking to me about his project. But really, thank you, because I've had numerous people come up to me. Oh, you're so small, but you're not.
I didn't mean it that
dangerous.
Way.
And I'm like,
I think that played to. I'm sorry to cut her, but
no, that's it.
I think that played to her being dangerous. Like here's this person.
People underestimate you.
Yeah, exactly. So her being a small size and stature.
But that adds to it. That adds to it, if anything.
Yeah, it's like, oh wait, she did, and then she like sits on the table in front of her brother and gets on top of the table, and has a conversation with him, like, "What'd you say, motherfucker?" You know, and here it is. Grace speaks in Spanish the whole time. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, that she definitely reached into her bag of tricks for this one.
You know what it reminded me of? Have you ever seen the movie Dread with Carl Urban?
No,
yes.
I'll look it up.
Mark, you have.
Yes.
So the villain of it is like this queen drug lord badass villain female, and she just runs this whole building full of like her druggies that like would do anything for her.
Wow.
So that's what it's sort of like. You gave that like that Dread villain vibe from that movie.
Thank you.
That's one of the many feelings I got from it. Like you just like you have your own place, your own like fortress, or your own like your dominion, or whatever you want to call it. Not necessarily a physical place, but like you have your dominion. you have your people you have your stronghold on, and you take no shit from them, but they take all the shit from you that you want to take out on them.
Yeah.
And even your brother, like you threatened, I think there's one point, I could be wrong, where you threatened to kill him if he screws
Yes.
you over. Like that's your own family, and this character is like ruthless.
My father-in-law really was like, "What? She's gonna kill her brother?" He was like, "What?" Because he's Puerto Rican, so he like when she's saying it, he's like, as I'm like working through the edit before we got the subtitles up, he was like, "But did she say she's gonna kill her brother?" I was like, "Yeah."
But I do. On top of that, too, I have to say, V and Chrystal, I got Charlie's Angels vibes from you girls. And you and Celeste, the two of you and Celeste, I got like Charlie's Angels vibes from you girls.
It was,
That's dope.
I feel like everybody, again, so touching that, everybody brought their own vibe to this. Like I said, like V, Chrystal, and Celeste was not here, but they had their own energy. Trevor had his own energy. Grace had their own energy. Mark and Shawn had their own energy. I wanted to touch on that because the shootout. So if you notice, I kind of really tried to shoot each shootout in a different style. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't boring. It wasn't like just okay, it's just another shootout. It's just another shootout.
Right.
You guys shootout reminds me of Lethal Weapon, Danny Glover and Mel Gibson. And that's kind of like the buddy cop kind of that vibe. When I look at that, I feel like I'm watching Danny Glover and Mel Gibson every time.
Well, Shawn.
We did.
Well, let's go back.
That's a good comparison. I didn't think about that, but I totally see that. The Danny Glover and Mel Gibson. Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that. And then, like I said, he said the girls had the Charlie Angels vibe. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was different. It was different while keeping it, the same aesthetic. There were different little nuances in there in the characters that brought a feel to the whole thing.
Yeah. Mark, you were gonna say something?
Well, I take that as a compliment. Thank you, AJ. But during the 70s, there was a drug dealer. Her name was Griselda Blanco. And
Griselda Blanco, yeah.
She's played by Sofia Vergara, but Griselda was like 4'10".
Yep.
Oh.
And she murdered her. She was known for murder. She murdered like over 200 people. She murdered first. So I thought you did some homework and you were emulating her.
No, I did do some homework based on videos. Well, YouTube videos actually. Yeah, go on.
El Chapo's daughter.
Yes, El Chapo's daughter, like really prominent drug lords in Mexico. But really, the inspiration came from real life people. But Queen of the South, that's my favorite show. That's the show I watched during COVID. Badass, Latina, sexy, drugs. I'm like, wow, this is what I want to do. I manifested it. Here we are. Really.
The original version in Spanish or
No, the American version. I should watch the Mexican with Kate del Castillo.
Yes. You should.
Yes, I should.
Excellent. And
okay.
The best one was the what's his name? Her henchman. What's his name? Pote.
Yes.
Pote was the shit.
Yes, he was.
and my inspiration, my inspiration for the Ciara character was like Foxy Brown. You know what I mean? The black exploitation.
That was Pam Grier, right?
Yeah, Pam Grier. Yeah. So
I had the opportunity to meet her once, and I missed her, and I would have loved to meet her.
Yeah, V's character was very much based on, Foxy Brown, Pam Grier, black exploitation kind of stuff. And she brought that to life. You know what I mean? Like here it is, this regular girl that just kind of gets thrown into whatever. And by the end, she's like, that scene when you're like, oh, well, motherfucker, you just came here so I could kill your ass again.
She had me cracking up. When I first saw the trailer, I was like, hey, V has me rolling.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he's a Terminator, or I guess he's Terminator.
The Terminator.
I literally fell out, V. Okay, I lived. It was so funny. I was.
I have to say, V, you definitely delivered those lines. You between you and Celeste, you know what I mean. You guys really held that those scenes. Every time you guys were in the scene, it was untouchable. You know what I mean? Like if it had to be emotional, if it had to be action, it had to, like you guys just turned it up every time.
They're funny.
Yeah, they were.
They're really funny.
Yeah.
I love seeing females be funny on.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
And
my favorite.
I come from a family of 7. Like there's 7. I have 5 female aunts and 2 uncles. You know what I mean? So it's so many women in my family, and strong black women, excuse me. So that's kind of why, like, there's women leads. I love women leads, even in Game On. You know what I mean? It's like there's no real guy lead. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having us. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I just love, like, they're so diverse. You know, I have 2 daughters. I have a 28-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old daughter, and the 2-year-old daughter is tougher than the 28-year-old. You know what I mean? Sydney punches me in the face. You know what I mean? And but I love that. You know, women characters are so diverse. You know, and you guys brought these things to life, and you added so much good things to these characters. I appreciate it. I hope this movie has long legs and just keeps running.
I think for me, I think everybody knew that before I even did this was like my actually first acting that I did. So
did a great job.
Amazing.
Thank you. So like the first Red Night that we did in the ability to cry when Chrystal was was killed, I think it was that it was putting the challenge of, you know, going to school down in the city, which was called the acting school, remember, for the method acting.
Yeah.
And then going to the Barrel Group. And right after I finished school, I think I wasn't even quite done yet when you started filming this.
Yeah.
And then I think that the first few hours or so of really getting into this, that guy Mark up there in the corner, oh, great coach. You were amazing, and getting me into some spaces that were uncomfortable. Of course, you're the only Mark.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that too.
You were amazing in doing that. Brother, you were always amazing. And Chrystal, your chemistry was amazing. So for me, this whole thing, to see it is something
yeah, and this time
it was nice for me, for first time of ever, like, you know, because I've done a lot of different things, but they were, you know that AJ extras. So, you know, on a lot of different sets, maybe a couple of words, but not like getting a line in the script and trying to like become this character, or you see what I'm saying? It was nice.
Well, V, I just want to tell you, regardless, you should definitely update your IMDb page, because you want to get all your stuff on there.
Yes.
It's AJ.
Yeah.
IMDb, AJ.
It's on IMDb.
That's me and Mark reminding AJ.
No, so
yes.
So Gabe, since Gabe is family now, because Gabe's been around a lot.
Thank you. I'm blushing.
Yeah, Grace and Mark all over me about IMDb from the very moment of any AJ, you're gonna do something, IMDb. Listen, Grace had to like jump on my back to with all my credit. I didn't have an IMDb. I literally didn't.
Wow.
Until after Oppenheimer, right, Grace?
Yes, and I helped you make the page.
Basically, because I didn't care. And then look at all those credits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't even like, because
when you came at me with that, I was like, I didn't know what it was, but I just don't know how to make one. So hopefully.
Mark, are you checking right now?
Fuck yeah.
Mark, look at Mark. I saw him lean forward.
He doesn't understand. It's a tool.
It's a tool.
Yeah, so it's become like my
like, wow, interesting. Let's go check that out and see if we can work with him. It's just another tool.
Right.
It's just been like it's
another credit for me, which is good. I need that credit. I only have like 90 credits. I need like 91.
I only have like 90 credits. I need 91.
I only have like 102. I need 102.
I maybe have like
You know,
I maybe have like 10 at the moment.
Yeah, I mean,
But
yeah.
Yeah, but I started when it was silent films in black and white. So
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Listen, I can tell you something. No matter what you do in the field, whether you're an actor or even a PA, it's important to have your
No,
IMDb
yeah, you put
updated.
any credit on IMDb.
Well, like I said, my first job was Still Alice, and I was a PA, but she won an Oscar for that, so why not?
The only reason I knew you were in Oppenheimer, you were involved in Oppenheimer, was because of IMDb, and I was blown away. And then you sent me that photo, or I think you sent me that, or I found it on IMDb of you with Christopher Nolan up on the awards platform.
I don't like to so I don't like to, that's an easy like, hey, by the way, I did this, and like I can open up any.
I'm just saying it's really cool, right? But but it's smart that you don't use that as like an easy in.
Yeah, because there's so much more to me than that moment. You know what I mean? So I feel like,
and I respect that about you.
When you lead with all of the other stuff, like for instance, this stuff that we created now or whatever, and then you open up the door and you're like, hey, this guy's worked on this, that, then it starts to now make sense. You know what I mean? Like I'm not just a guy that works, I mean, and that's a huge. We got flown out, me and my wife. Like, so it's so dope. I'll show you this real quick.
Get it? I think he's gonna show an award.
Shut up, Grace.
Oh, did we lose V?
Oh, we lose V? Maybe we lost V.
Lose V. I'll bring her back in if she comes back in. I know it's getting late and a lot of people can't all.
So,
hey, Shawn.
So Oppenheimer is so big, right? It was so big that that my wife,
look at that.
Doesn't say Andrew Jackson. That says Melissa Jackson.
Oh.
So basically, it's such a big deal that my wife has an award.
Incredible.
Wow.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to bring that up because unless you're in the room when you need to.
I was gonna let V know if she needs help with the IMDb page, she can hit me up. I'll message her.
Did she leave? V just left.
I think she popped. Yeah, so like I'm gonna reach out to her because if she needs assistance with setting up her IMDb page, I'll offer to help.
Well, Gabe, listen, this is I'm also exhausted too because this is
I know it's very late.
Third event for me. I went to the Juneteenth.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, but they had at Gracie Mansion at the mayor's office. They had an event, so I was there, and then I went to another networking event, and this is the third for me tonight.
Is this in New York?
Yeah, both of them were in New York.
Oh, so this Eric Adams, right?
Yeah, it was Eric Adams.
I work on a charity that my friend just received an award from Eric Adams. I got to post the video. Yeah.
They actually had 3 awards they gave out today too. So I think I feel like that's a regular thing over there. But and then I went to like a film networking forum event with my producer AJ Flash, and then I came.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
I remember AJ.
Yeah, AJ. Yeah, he's somewhere driving around in his blue Benz somewhere.
Before we close up, I just have a question. All of you who are still here are going to be coming to the show Wednesday night next week?
Chrystal lives in California. She'll be in Atlanta show. You're gonna be.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, Chrystal, at the one in New York City. Absolute pleasure.
My sister lives in Florida. She lives in Florida, so she won't be there.
Oh.
But Mark will be there. Grace will be there. Shawn will definitely be there. Trevor will be there.
Great.
I think Laura Lanza, who plays Detective Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There'll be a couple of people there. It won't be, we already did the red carpet for it, but it's going to be as many people that can make it to this.
Well, I'm going to bring my camera again, so I'll take some more pictures.
Yeah, and separate people will be there as well. So, we'll figure it out.
Well, you guys, it was an absolute pleasure. I'm really excited about next week. Do you guys want to share anything else? Any socials for the audience? Or
Mark, say it. Do we have IG? You have IG. Say your IG.
MVMSR_62.
Yeah, Chrystal, you got IG?
Yeah, my IG is my name there, Chrystal McCoy, at Chrystal McCoy, and that's on all socials, TikTok, Facebook, the whole bit.
And what about you, Grace?
My Instagram is my name, Grace Julianna, both underscores, Grace __Julianna __, and there you can find my TikTok, and my IMDb. Thank you.
Cool. And then me, I'm at Mr. 20, which is at MRTWOOH, or 20nation at 20nation.com. Also, you can also follow at Red Knight _ Red Rising. Is it Red Knight Special 2 _ Red Rising? Or is it Red Knight Special?
Want me to check? Hold on.
Oh, well, somebody said that. Oh, man.
It's Red Knight Special 2 _ Red Rising.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, follow that page because that
Red Knight Special 2 _ Red Rising.
Yeah, follow that page, and that should be able to lead you to all of us.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we're working, man. Follow us, let us know, and we're always ready to work. DM me, hit me
Always.
up if you're an actor.
Excellent, guys.
You got a script or something, whatever. Or if you can't get us, reach out to Gabe because Gabe can get all of us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you. I'm going to post a little bit before next week regarding the premiere to see if I could promote like your screening next week.
I appreciate you, Gabe.
Thank you, Gabe.
For sure.
This
For
is
sure.
great.
Yeah, I'm sorry we got off to a sort of an iffy start, but I'm glad it all worked out. And I'll see all you next week. And have a great night, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.